got some news to sink our teeth into. In the first one, I'm going to go to our resident Lord of the Rings fan, Seth, because new Lord of the Rings films are in the works at Warner Brothers. Are you excited, scared, both? Where are you at?
Okay, so there's a few ways this could go. I've seen people say it's a remake. It won't be a remake. If it's a remake, then it can fuck right off. But it's not going to be a remake. Then they're not going to do that. There is a lot of avenues they can go down. I think a lot of people don't realize how big the Silmarillion is and how much stories they have to offer. But then at the same time, actually, after doing some research, I believe that the Tolkien estate owns so much of the IP of that. Hence why Rings of Power couldn't use it. That it's like, are we actually going to get that, or are we going to get some extended version of Lord of the Rings which isn't already existing fiction? Are we just going to add it on? That it's like, if it's that, I'll watch it, of course, but I am a bit worried about it, to be honest. And I know I say this from like a really selfish point of view, but I don't want people's opinions of the franchise to dampen after another project that underwhelms, like The Hobbit, like Rings of Power. I want this to be Lord of the Rings. I want it to be seen as one of the greatest things ever in cinema, which I believe it is, of course. And if we get another project that is not up to scratch, and which is going to be very hard, let's be honest, to be up to scratch of the Lord of the Rings, it might just dampen people's minds. But then, on a positive note, if it can be done from the Silmarillion, if we can go into all these other aspects of these different stories, then who knows? It could be really good. But I'm like, honestly, 50-50, just down the middle. I've seen people love it, I've seen people hate it. I'm just down the middle. I don't really know yet. That's the thing.
Do you think you would have been more excited for this news if you had like really enjoyed Rings of Power? Because I think I don't love this news, but I think if I had loved Rings of Power and if they had nailed that season, I would have been on board for this.
Yeah, well, I liked it. I didn't love it. I was kind of the same as you. I think I would have potentially been, if say Rings of Power had come out and it was
like The Last of Us, or
like
even
The Last of Us,
it was up to like, even if it was up to like House of the Dragon,
like where it was like really good. I was really enjoying it. Okay, maybe if they get a similar filmmaker, I have seen rumors that Peter Jackson would come back. I don't know if I believe those rumors, if I'm honest. And also, my another worry is times are moving. We are like, everything is special, everything is CGI, everything is VFX now, and that was the main issue with The Hobbit. It's probably going to be the same again. Like, Rings of Power used less than The Hobbit, but it was still a lot of it. Whereas Lord of the Rings, they did utilize a lot of practical effects, which I much preferred. So, can they really do anything to capture the same feeling? Probably not. And also, there's going to be that nostalgia there tied to Lord of the Rings for everyone who is a fan. No, they're not going to be able to capture that same feeling. So I think people should either lower their expectations or maybe give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, like down the middle. So.
Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings are so quietly becoming Star Wars with their franchise. Like, when you think about it, they have the Lord of the Rings and they have the Hobbit trilogy. They have a spin-off show, Rings of Power. They're going to have new movies coming out. Like, I feel like Lord of the Rings out of nowhere all of a sudden is going to be one of the deeper franchises we've ever had in terms of how many projects are going on.
Yeah.
Which I know, Seth, you hate to hear that. But yeah, Cam, what do you think about this?
I saw a lot of people like commenting on this and like, don't ruin Lord of the Rings, all that kind of comment. And first off, my opinion, I hate people that say like this ruins something else, because it doesn't. The other thing is still there and it's still as good as it was. I understand like you may not think of like the entire like thing as good as it was, but like I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, and I'll admit like the Two Towers and the Return of the King are two of like the greatest pieces of fiction movie in a long while. They're really fantastic. But I think Fellowship's very, very, very good. I don't have it at a 5 stars, so like I'm not going to say.
But you would put like
ever.
Two Towers and Return of the King like a lot higher.
No, I have it like a 94 versus like a 98 and 99. So like it's very, very, very good, but I'm not going to say it's the greatest piece of fiction ever. Like, I don't know, like fuck off.
I just see it as like one long film, really. You know what I mean?
I get that. I get that. I really do. I just, when I separate them, I think the Fellowship. This is not the point of the conversation, people. All I'm going to say is that I just think these people forget the Hobbits came out, and the Hobbits, I don't like hate them by any means. I have most of them. All of them range from a 50 to a 60. I don't think.
So you don't have the Hobbit like higher than a 60? That surprises me.
No,
You don't have
no.
to check. I was just asking.
I just looked it up, and I'm pretty sure they're all okay.
Oh, right.
6. So all from. I'll change my scale. All within 10 points still. 63 to a 52. So
Oh
11.
my god! I actually liked, to be honest, I liked the first 2 Hobbits films like quite a lot.
Really?
The
That's-
third.
I mean,
one,
that's fine. That's fine.
The third one I didn't. The first 2 I really did.
That's fine. Beside the point, you wouldn't say they're not nearly as good. As
No. Yeah.
Whatever. But that's my point. Is like people are freaking out, and it's like, do you not remember the Hobbits? Like, even if you don't think they're bad, like I don't think they're terrible. I just don't think they're very good. They've come out, and then also Rings of Power like was not received that well. Again, it's a show that you'd say it's not bad, but it's fine. Like, so I really think people just kind of forgetting those projects.
No, I think their point is that that they're furthering that. They're just continuing to do
That's
more
fair.
with it, where the projects have been. I think both projects have been. I think The Hobbit and Rings of Power have been good, but like you say, nothing to the extent.
I'm impressed, and I think it's mostly just because what's her name, J.K. Rowling, still is like in full control of Harry Potter. I'm impressed. Like Harry Potter hasn't had like all of this. Like even James Cameron the other day said like. He said something about like, ask me in 5 years if Avatar could ever be made into a TV show. Mm-hmm. I'm certain it will be, especially, like 10 years after like James Cameron passes or something like that. Like I'm certain they're just going to be ready to suck on the teat of Avatar and just milk out money for it. So I like Harry Potter's kind of the last like domino to fall, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how those goes. Again, it's really early. We really don't have much more news other than that they're in development at Warner Bros. We have no clue what they're following, but I'm sure people are going to be very eager to see updates.